Why is it that some of the most intelligent minds in history were also some of the most tortured? Why did Albert Einstein confess that he was lonely all his life? Why did Virginia Woolf walk into a river with stones in her pockets? Why did Nietzsche go mad and Kafka say, "I am literature and nothing else"? If intelligence is such a gift, why does it often feel like a curse? Today, we explore why smart people are often unhappy and how their brilliance might be the very reason behind their suffering. Imagine your brain as a high-speed engine, constantly analyzing, questioning, dissecting every thought, every feeling, every experience. This is often what it feels like to be highly intelligent. The smart brain doesn't stop. It revisits conversations from years ago. It analyzes people's facial expressions in slow motion. It plays out future scenarios, dozens of them, before a single step is taken. Psychologists call this rumination, the tendency to dwell on problems rather than solving them. For average thinkers, a problem is a hurdle. For deep thinkers, it's a loop with no exit. A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts. Said by Alan Watts, overthinking often replaces living, and that's the first hidden burden of intelligence. The smarter you are, the more you see. Not just facts, but layers. Layers of meaning, contradictions, ironies, flaws in the system, the subtle emotional signals in conversations, the existential weight of being alive. Smart people often see the absurdity of life, not just live in it. They look at the 9-to-5 grind and ask, is this really what I'm supposed to do with my one conscious experience? They see people chase money and fame and wonder, will this ever make anyone truly happy? This leads to existential dread, a unique kind of suffering that comes from understanding too much, too deeply, and too quickly. As philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre put it, existence precedes essence, meaning you exist first. But figuring out why you exist is entirely on you, and that burden can feel crushing. Smart people often struggle with loneliness, but not the kind you fix by going to a party. It's intellectual isolation, the feeling that no one truly gets you. Their humor might be too subtle, their ideas too abstract, their inner world too complex. This disconnect leads to alienation, a theme central to existential thinkers like Camus and Kierkegaard. Imagine being surrounded by people, yet feeling like you're speaking a different language. Some learn to mask it, others withdraw entirely. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Said by Friedrich Nietzsche. Here's a strange paradox. The smarter you are, the more aware you are of the fragility of meaning. Where others find comfort in religion, culture, or tradition, the intelligent mind questions, is this belief true or just convenient? Is meaning something we discover or something we invent? This constant questioning creates what Viktor Frankl called the existential vacuum, a void where meaning should be. And this vacuum often pulls in depression, anxiety, or nihilism. Smart people sometimes fall into the trap of believing that because everything can be deconstructed, nothing truly matters. That's the cost of deep thinking without emotional grounding. Smart people are told they have so much potential, but potential can become a prison. Every decision feels heavy because it could have been something else. Every moment is weighed against what could have been better. This creates what psychologists call maximizer syndrome, the belief that there's always a better path, better choice, better life. The result? Paralysis, regret, self-doubt. Instead of living freely, they constantly measure themselves against impossible futures. This pressure often leads to burnout, imposter syndrome, and dissatisfaction, even in success. To be intelligent is to be aware of how much you do not know. And that awareness can be haunting. So, are smart people doomed to suffer? Not necessarily, but they must learn what most aren't taught. 1. Thinking isn't always solving. Sometimes letting go is wiser than understanding more. 2. Meaning is made, not found. Even if life has no grand purpose, you can still create a beautiful one. 3. Happiness is emotional, not intellectual. You can't think your way into joy, but you can feel your way there through connection, curiosity, and simplicity. Smart people don't need less intellect. They need more emotional grounding. As Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. If you've ever felt like your mind is a prison, like your thoughts are too heavy, like you know too much to ever be truly happy, you're not alone. It's not your intelligence that's the problem. It's the lack of emotional training to handle it. Maybe the smartest thing we can learn is how to feel, not just think. If this video made you think, subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology and philosophy of the human mind. And remember, your mind is brilliant, but your soul is deeper. Don't forget to live.